Well, I'm back where it all started on low-fuel motorsport. The GT3 rookies on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now, my safety rating has taken a massive hit in recent weeks, and while it was just high enough to enter last week's 45-minute race at Watkins Glen, I didn't quite gain enough to get me back into the Coach Dave GT3 Sprint. So for this week's shorter race at Imola, I've got to do things the hard way and survive this 25-minute rookie battle at Imola. Now, my pace is average at best, so I'll be starting from P11 on a grid of 21. I hate being slap bang in the middle of the pack for these races, but I've just got to stay alert, stay safe, and try my best to avoid the inevitable T1 carnage. Here we go. Oh, and just as we're about to get underway, we get a warning on the HUD to move further over to the left, and that has totally thrown me out. We've completely missed the launch as the lights go green there. As a result, we're going to lose a couple of positions. Gia Gogolashvili in the Lamborghini is going to get past. Madhav Sajit in that yellow Merc is going around the outside. Now we've got to hold it as tight as we can. Oh no, carnage in front, and we get tagged from behind. Nowhere to go, nothing we could do, and we're going to rejoin right at the back of the pack. Well, a week ago at Watkins Glen, I survived the lap 1 pile up by the skin of my teeth, but I wasn't quite so lucky here. We've rejoined right behind the BMW of Antonio Cintado, and we're down in 18th position, so yeah, 7 places dropped as a result of that first corner incident. As soon as I saw the sideways cars in front of me sliding across track, I got on the brakes so I didn't hit them, but then of course you're at the mercy of the drivers behind. I don't know, maybe I could have taken to the grass and avoided it that way. We'll go back and check out a replay of it shortly, but we'll stick with the live action for now because I've got a job on my hands to hold on to this 18th place here. Look in the rearview mirror. That Ferrari of Dave Alsop is really quick and he's going to challenge around the outside. Well, we certainly don't want to go through Acca Minerali too wide, but at the same time, I don't want to give away another position, so I'm going to make myself as big as possible and defend as hard as I can through there. And yes, we do hold on to that 18th position. Right, let's check out a replay to see if we can get to the bottom of what happened at the first corner. And to find the root cause, we've got to go all the way to the front row of the grid. Keep your eye on that McLaren of Ming Chak Ho. He's on the outside, having qualified P2, but he moves to the inside, and there's just not room with the Porsche of Daniel Vernickel already there. And the contact causes the McLaren to spin right into the path of the oncoming traffic, and yeah, I was really unlucky to get caught up in that. Here we are watching me coming in. I thought I'd got around it there, but I just get tagged from the BMW behind. On board with Cintado now in the BMW. You can see me just in front to the left. Now Cintado makes a move up the inside of me, but of course runs head on into the crash, and then there's a domino effect which results in me getting taken out as well. Another view now from the car in front looking back, and we can see just how unlucky I was. Yeah, possibly I could have gone out to the grass to avoid it. It looks like another driver did exactly that and he made it around okay, so perhaps that's what I should have done. But one final look from the chopper cam and we can see just how many cars get caught up in this. There's a good half a dozen drivers that have come to grief here. So back to the live action, and the important thing to remember is not to get too downhearted by that first lap incident. Sure, I'm down in 18th position, but I know that I'm faster than a lot of these drivers directly in front of me, and with more than 20 minutes of the race still to go, it's not over here. We can still salvage a decent position, and we're going to pick one place up straight away because there's a Ferrari facing the wrong way into Ravazza. That is Vincenzo Sarno. Now Sarno was having some big ping issues on that lap, and it looks like he has gone. So we're up to 17th and we're going to jump forward to the start of lap 3. I just started opening up a little bit of a gap over Davey Alsop behind, but I get caught out by the slow pace of Cintado going through Villeneuve there. I have to lift when I didn't want to, and that is inviting Alsop to attack. He's going to make a move up the inside into this left-hander, and he gets the job done. And look at that, it's a textbook block pass. He gets his Ferrari right in front of me, so I can't get on the gas when I normally would coming out of the corner. That's cost me exit speed, and it's cost me another position as well. Roland Bark takes full advantage, so all of a sudden I find myself down to 19th place. But later in the lap I'm going to get the opportunity to grab one of those positions back. Watch the battle in front and keep your eye on that Ferrari of Alsop. He's going to try and tuck it up the inside of Cintado going into Ravazza. It pushes Cintado out wide. He's out into the gravel, and we take the opportunity to dive up the inside. Now I had to take a tighter entry than I would have liked into that final corner just to allow Cintado the space to rejoin safely. I did clip that curb, and as a result it's cost me exit speed. So I suspect we might come under attack from that BMW behind. behind. He's getting bigger and bigger in the rearview mirror, and he pulls out to the inside, so we're going to be side by side on the drag race down to T1. Now, can we hold our nerve around the outside? I don't want to give this position up. If I can hold it around the outside here, I'll have the inside for the middle part of the turn. However, we're still side by side. It's really close. I'm trying my hardest not to give it up, but I run out of room. I'm squeezed out onto the grass, and eventually I have to concede defeat. I have to lift, and that gives Antonio Cintado 18th position. We're back down to 19th position. Good little battle that was. Let's go back and check out the replay, starting with the incident in Ravazza, and Davey Allsop in the white Ferrari makes that move up the inside. It was a good pass actually, but the BMW just ran out of space on the outside, and we were able to nip past. But right there was where we clipped the curb on the inside. That cost me speed down the start-finish straight, and then we came to the first chicane. Oh, it was really close, side by side. I tried my hardest to hold on, but couldn't. Well, we're approaching the end of lap 4 now, and I'm still behind the BMW of Cintado. I said earlier in the race that I thought I had more pace than the cars in front of me, but at the moment I'm being held up a little bit, and I just can't find a way past this BMW. If I could just get close in behind down this start-finish straight, I may be able to use a little bit of the toe to get myself alongside and make a move up the inside, much like Cintado did to me a lap ago. And it just doesn't look like we've got the power. We are closing in now, but we're going to run out of straight, and yeah, I'm not quite close enough. I don't fancy sticking it up the inside. It would have been a bit of a dive bomb. So we back out of that one, and we're going to have to come up with another plan. Well, no further opportunities presented themselves throughout that lap, so come the end of lap 5, my only option is to try the exact same move again, but it's important I get a better run through this final turn. We missed the curb on the inside this time, so that means we're a little bit closer to the BMW than we were a lap ago. This is a better opportunity. With a bit of toe, I should be able to get alongside a little bit earlier than I did last time. And I've definitely got the speed here, so I'm going to go for it. It's too late to back out now. We're going to sling it down the inside into turn 1. Can we make this pass? And can we get it done safely? We take a lot of their curb on the inside to make sure that we don't have any contact with the BMW, and we have done it. We're back into 18th. Yeah, really pleased with this overtake. There was a dress rehearsal 1 lap ago which didn't quite come off, but this time we were a little bit faster, a little bit further alongside, and that enabled me to get up the inside into T1 and take the position. So having got past Cintado, the next job on my checklist was to close in the gap on Davey Allsop. Now when we made the pass on the BMW, Allsop was 2 seconds clear. However, by the time we get to the end of lap 7, we're now right on the tail of the Ferrari driver. I said I felt that I was faster than them, and with a clear track, it hasn't taken me long at all to reel them in. And there is a big group of drivers up there, 4 or 5 cars. And one of them might have come to grief because the yellow flags are out. I can't see any incident yet as we approach Ravazzi. Oh, there he is. It's Gia Gogolashvili just rejoining on the apex. We have to go wider into the final turn to avoid contact, and that lets the pack in front get away. But let's see what happened to Gogolashvili. And he's lost it all on his own. The rear steps out going through Ravazzi, and he slides into the barrier. So yeah, having to take evasive action to get around that rejoining Lambo cost me about 1 second to the pack of cars in front, but it didn't take me long at all to start reeling them back in. This is the very next lap, and as we come into Acca Minerali, we can see I'm getting visibly closer now to the back of Davey Allsop. And there are 5 cars in this pack ahead, all within 2 seconds of each other, and we've still got more than 10 minutes of the race left, so I'm remaining optimistic that we can close in on the top 10 here. And there's 1 position gained straight away. Alexander Karolku it was who spun out at the chicane there. It also looked like Roland Mark was wide, but he has got back on track. Now let's see what happened. Karolku is the red BMW, second on screen. He comes in really hot into the chicane. Yeah, too hot. The rear just steps out. That puts us up into 16th position. Back to the live action then at the start of lap 9. And we're keeping to within half a second of Davey Allsop's Ferrari, but it's nowhere near close enough to consider making a move up the inside into T1. So we'll concentrate now on reeling in these final few tenths. There's a black Lamborghini out into the gravel, and we're going to have to hang it out wider than I'd like if we're going to make this pass stick, and we do get around by the skin of our teeth there. That was really close. Yeah, the Lamborghini driver was Michael Kawa, and he just clipped those raised curbs mid-corner. That sent him out to the gravel on the left and gave me the chance to hurtle around the outside. That puts us up into 15th, and we're returning to the live action on lap 10. And once again, we're within half a second of Davey Allsop ahead, but we just can't get any closer. However, I do think Allsop is beginning to be held up now by Roland Mark ahead of him. Look how keen Allsop is to get through. He's having a sniff up the inside on the approach into Villeneuve. That was never going to work, but it's certainly putting Mark under some pressure now. He's going to have another look up the inside into Tozer. Is he going to get it done now? No, he's not. But all this attacking has played right into my hands because I'm now closer to Allsop than I've ever been. I'm swarming over the rear of that white Ferrari. In fact, I'll have a look of my own up the inside into this left-hander. Not really a serious overtaking attempt there, but just to see if I can rattle him a little bit. It didn't work. I've actually lost ground. And with Carwat so close behind me still, I think my best plan is just to stay behind Allsop for a minute and wait for him to force away past Mark. He doesn't need to force away past Mark because Mark made a mistake through Acca Minerale. He was well out into the dirt then. As a result, Allsop's climbed up into 13th. We're into 14th. Oh, there was a bit of afters in the chicane I saw in the rear view mirror there. The elbows were well and truly out between Mark and Carwat. Right, let's take a look at the replay to see the mistake that Roland Mark made. And yeah, it's such an easy error through Acca Minerale. You just run in a little bit too hot and it pulls you out into the gravel on the outside. But it wasn't over there because look at Mark desperately trying to hold on to at least one position. There's two big bumps with the black Lamborghini of Michael Carwat. Returning to the live action on lap 13, and you'll see now that we're up to P13. That's because we lost one of the drivers in front due to a disconnect. Once again, I find myself in a similar position of being half a second behind Davey Allsop, but the pair of us are closing in fast on Dennis Boma. We've been taking about half a second a lap out of the McLaren, and with a couple of laps still to go, we could yet gain another position. White flags are out as well, so there has been an incident in Tozer. Whoever it was has rejoined. But yeah, I'm getting the bit between my teeth now after finding myself down in 19th position after that lap 1 incident. I've managed to fight my way back up into P13, and realistically we could be on for P11 here. So now is the time to push. Ideally I'd like to see us get past Boma within the next half a lap or so, and then we can concentrate on challenging Allsop for 11th position. Into Acca Minerale, clip the curb on the inside. I'm out a little bit wide. Oh no, the car's bottomed out as I rejoin. We slide nose first into the barrier. Oh, I think we're done. Yeah, we're definitely done. This car is wrecked. We've got the meatball flag. We've got a pit for repairs. Oh, this race is over. Yeah, what a disappointing end to the race. Nobody to blame but myself here. I just pushed a little bit too hard, sensing that I could put myself in this battle for 11th. I clipped the curb on the inside. At that point, I didn't think there was too much wrong. I just thought I was going to rejoin safely, a couple of tenths down and get back on track. But unfortunately, the car bottomed out as I rode over the curb. That caused me to lose control and I slid head on into the barrier. Yeah, the car was so badly damaged, it was actually a real challenge to even bring it back to the pits. By the time I did limp down pit lane, there was less than 2 minutes of the race left. Not enough time to get these required repairs done and get back out on track. So sadly, that's where my Imola experience ended. We can check out the classified results and see, unfortunately, I ended up down in 19th position. Realistically, it all went wrong in the very first corner. If I'd just been able to survive turn 1 and get through that unscathed, I probably would have found myself in a decent battle for a top 10 position. As it was, I was always up against it and I was pushing too hard come the end to try and salvage a decent result. On a more positive note, despite the 2 crashes, I did manage to end the race with a positive safety rating gain, which is enough to make me eligible again for the Coach Dave GT3 Sprint. So hopefully this will be my one and only rookies race. I'll look forward to seeing you again on the grid for the Coach Dave GT3 Sprint very soon. Cheers for watching.